Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Deep, tap, tap, deep, tap, deep. I don't know why I'm doing that. I thought it was funny. I actually just watched a documentary, but welcome to the show, and I'll explain a little bit more. Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. My name is Ruiz Segura. I hope that you are in a decent mood this Monday, beautiful Monday night. Houston soccer continues. We're here to talk about it. I am not alone. I am joined by my friend, my co-host, Cristian Butalias. Brother, I didn't leave you time to check your mic if it worked or not, but how are you? I can hear you pretty well.
There you go. Good, man. Good. Good. I mean, can we be good? I feel like we always start like really good, but it's like with a loss, can we be good?
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
I'm still in a good mood. We joke around. You're still alive. But
That's true.
you two suffer
Could
a little
be worse.
bit. But we are not alone. We are making a debut to the show, man. We are joined by the one and only DynaStats here with us. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Not too bad, man. Excited to have you. I know that people in the Dynamo, I guess we'll call it Twitterverse at this point, they know who you are, man. You always put out good information out there, and you obviously joined us recently, Bayou City Soccer, bringing all your knowledge, and you're one of the stat nerds that we love. We'll group you with Dustin and Joey, and we love it, dude. Absolutely. But yeah, welcome to the show, man.
It's good to be here. Yeah.
And well, I guess cheap plug since he's not going to plug himself, but yeah, one of the best accounts in the Twitter X verse. So if you haven't yet, go make sure you guys follow DynaStats on X.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit more of an icebreaker here, but somebody put Ponce's stats, Rushan. That one's pretty simple, man.
We don't have those.
This episode, I was talking to Lesnar here. I was like, this episode's a DP Drought in Houston, so we're gonna be very heavy on that. It's gonna be a different show. There's no slides today, Christian and DynaStats. But I mean, we'll keep chugging along here, but. Anything, Christian, man, last time you disappeared on us, man, last minute, like, hey, I'm not going to be there. I'm on vacation. And we brought in Germán Benitez from Foxtrot, and we had a long combo, but we missed you, man. Did you feel rejuvenated at this point, coming back from vacation?
So usually, like, when people take vacations, they don't tell you, like, it takes a lot for, especially when you have kids, you know. It's not the same when you go take vacation by yourself and you're chilling. You don't have to plan anything. But when you have to go to the beach, carry stuff and carry it back and then shower kids and then do this and then do that and then make sure they're happy and fed, you're like, you know what? This vacation, it's definitely not for me. It's for them. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was fun. You get to go somewhere different for a little bit. So you kind of get to see like a different side of the world, I guess, even though it's kind of close. We went to Corpus Christi, so it was fun. At least you get to see a different place, different faces, different environment, I guess. Even though we were still in Texas, it was interesting for sure.
I remember, so I used to, I won't give too much information, but I used to have to go for work to the Valley a lot, and I would tell them, because you have Padre Island down there, and South Padre. And it's one of the prettiest beaches, supposedly. And all the people there would tell me, don't go there. It's nice, but you got to go to the Corpus, like Port Aransas.
Yeah.
And I went a couple years ago, man. It's nice. So yeah, people sleep on it. Yeah, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, sure. It wasn't crowded either. Like it was really good. I mean, the beach was nice. We were on North Padre Island, so it's like right before you get to Aransas. And it was beautiful. Honestly, I cannot complain whatsoever. The weather was fine. It only rained one day, which was the first day. But other than that, we had a pool. We did a bunch of, different things. But no, it's awesome. It's awesome. So I apologize for not being there, but we were having daddy duties.
We'll miss you for sure. But all right, guys, we'll see how much information we can get today to everybody. I hope that everybody still remains in good spirits, man. It's only April, about to be May. Can you believe that? Can you believe that it's almost May?
It's flying.
Is there a meme about that? I think there is, right? It's gonna be May. Isn't that its
I haven't
thing?
seen it. No.
All right, maybe it's just me.
I haven't showed up.
Maybe it's just me. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and start by just casually going through what we saw midweek on Wednesday at this point against San Diego. I'll play the highlights, and feel free, you don't have to stop at every single game. I mean, I will mention here, might as well say it here. San Diego, comes to visit Houston. They were kind of struggling. Houston ends up winning 1-0. Houston then goes to the weekend, and that's where our friend DynaStats was here. As for Bayou City Soccer respondent, covering that match. So shout out to him. We'll go a little bit on details as well there. And obviously that one did not go Dynamo's way in a 2-0 loss, which 2-0 loss, a little iffy, but we'll get there. All right, let's go ahead and start with this San Diego match. I'll play the highlights and feel free to talk over them and whatever you guys feel, not just purely on whatever. Oh, there goes my alarm, Christian. You hear it? All right, cool. I thought I had turned it off.
I was gonna ask DynaStats, how was it as you play a video? How were the vibes in the stadium? Have you been there before, and how did you see it? If this was your first time, or if it was not your first time.
Wait. We can't. That's Austin, bro. We can't skip Austin. I mean, we have to. Oh, and there you go. We have to go to San Diego first.
Okay. My bad. Hold on.
Yeah.
There's a
See, he goes in vacation and he messes all the things up. This is what we're here for. But
it looked green, so I was like, I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so here, obviously, the lineup itself was a decent lineup. You want to talk a little bit about that, Listener?
Yeah, I mean, I really like this. Yeah, San Diego, I really like the lineup. Leenser starting up front is something I really liked, especially in the midweek after he got that good goal. I'm happy that he got his start. A little unfortunate he got the red card at the end because I thought he played a really good game. And I thought he would have started Austin if he wasn't red carded. Apart from that, I really like Jaja and Buzat, CDMs. They brought a lot of really good energy. I think that's something that we were missing on the weekend against Austin. But I mean, I think it's kind of fair. It's a midweek game. A lot of players tired. Even Resch was tired by the end of the Austin game. So you gotta rotate your team, but at the same time, I think I think Ben especially has to find a good combo that really works.
And it's rare to see, and obviously we'll see it because at this point we're kind of grouping both games together. But we saw a lot of changes in both games, which is kind of interesting because I feel like since Ben has been in Houston, that's something we don't necessarily see. We see changes mostly because of need more than tweaking of a healthy squad. Christian, but yeah, you get Aliu to start. He ends up scoring the winner, and I'll play the highlights here. But yeah, a big one for Andre to get into the starting 11. I think he did very well, and it just stupidity. They got the best of him, I guess. I personally didn't think it was a red card, but once I saw it a little bit slowed down, yeah, it was a red.
I think it was, yeah.
I mean, it was kind of dumb, but I mean, I guess, and that's the thing about I think at the moment it wouldn't have been a red card. I don't think the referee called it a red card at the moment, right? They had to go to VAR.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. In the moment, nobody would have said anything. It would have been a fuss about it. But obviously, thanks to VAR, you can see the intention of him kind of extending his legs.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, he's naturally. I mean, the way he's falling is natural. It could have easily been the other way. But as soon as he kind of uses a springboard, uses the player as a springboard, that's kind of it was too noticeable. But this is a really good goal from an Ali vintage Griffin Dorsey, may I say?
From all you, it's a good hold-up play by Leenser too. I mean, if you kind of see him, he's fighting with those two guys, able to kind of control it and keep it and wait for somebody to show up. Yeah, and luckily, somebody did show up. So
shout out to Aldo for taking that good picture of him. He sacrificed his head basically to keep that ball in play, and then that really good ball as well. And
I think
finish.
Ali is just so much better on the right. I think he's so much more comfortable just on his right foot. I think even in Columbus they played him there, and it's like light and day versus seeing him on the left, where it's like he's out of the water.
Yeah, you would think, right, like it would be minimal, or maybe for a right-footed to play left so he can cut in. But we know that Ali, it's never gonna cut in and take a shot. So why not keep him on the right side, and maybe he can throw a cross or two during the game. So same thing. Good idea. And also, I mean, look, that's his second shot right there. He had more opportunities playing on the right because it's more natural for him to have that, kick kind of go across his body in a way. Or on that one where he actually went first post, which very, very smart of him, because everybody else probably would have thought that he was going to go to the second post.
Dude, Linger was so active in this match. Obviously, even before that, the setup that you mentioned to Ali, I feel that he had Ponce making a good run, but he gave it to Ali. But here, same thing. He had 1-on-1. He should have finished, but he took a bad second or third touch. And that's still a good strike.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Unlucky for sure.
Unlucky. But I don't want to get too ahead, but I would have loved to see Linger play against Austin. I don't know if he played or not, but I can't remember him coming in. But it would have been nice.
How he's gonna come in? He's red carded, brother.
Oh, pelotudo. Yeah, that's true. It probably wouldn't. Yeah, but that would have. I don't know. It's just
he's a starter. To me,
he would have been good.
To me, I feel like he's a starter now. Yeah, I think that basically Ponce played because of necessity of not having, Linger at this point. And again, Linger had such a great game, but had to mess it up by a dumb red card at the end of the match. So, what minute did he get red carded? Did anybody have it in front of it? I mean, right here it is 89th, and there's a red card. So
I think it was like 80th, right? Like 75 to 80, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
90 plus 7.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. I don't know why I even go for that. Yeah, I don't know why even go for such a dumb challenge that late in the game.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, San Diego had a red card first. That's okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, that was.
That's it. Yeah.
Just so dumb, bro. The game was over.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a foul. It's a good foul, but right there, him just kind of, and from that specific angle, you don't see it. It was really the other angle that
and
you
it's funny because
extending.
It seems like he wants to hit him, and then like mid hit, he's like, "Oh damn, I shouldn't do this," and he like retracts, but it was already too late.
It's too late, brother.
Yeah, this one would have been cool to kind of finish off the night. That's another player. That's another player. Achache is another player that has, even though he can't play 90 minutes, when he's in the field is like a whole different team in a way. The control that he has of the pace. I mean, we said it before, right? But like the pace that he brings, even though it's a little bit slower, he can make it quick in a second just because of his experience. And just like he knows like people can't take the ball away from him, and it's like such a confidence that he has. Like you're not gonna take the ball away from me. I saw it in Austin. I was watching it right now before we jumped on, and there was a play, and he was in the midfield, and he goes like right to left real quick, and you're like, he just makes it look, he made it look easy, and it was like 60 plus. So he for sure tired at 36. And then especially after playing some of that game in San Diego and then going to Austin, playing like 75 there, and he was running all over the field. Not only, especially, those players that play box to box, you don't think they run a lot in a sense because they kind of pick a spot and play there, but they do a lot of like shifting, side to side or, kind of moving back and forth. And it doesn't look like a lot of work, but, it's just the constant looking and moving. And I mean, that the brain power that goes into that, I'm sure that it takes a toll too.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask why keep call is it Lesnar? I'm thinking I'm mispronouncing it, am I?
Leenser.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Listen, I'm gonna ask you about if there's any stat that stood out to you in that particular game. I'll give you some time to think about it. I am gonna throw in this comment from Rushan that says that Maddie was shown on the Doom. Maddie's everywhere. Even her college professors are like, hey, were you at the game? I think I just saw you at the game on, they
That's
they
funny.
put you on TV. She's just out there, and man, she's
Celebrity.
creating content for us. That reel that she sent me a bunch of videos, and
That's
I have
pretty
some
good.
really, I have a fantastic clip that I'm absolutely going to share here once we get to Austin. Of course, you guys have seen it already, but if you haven't, you'll find out.
Kid.
Leenser, I like it. Yeah, it's the kid. We'll play him. But any stat that stood out to you in this match?
Yeah, just looking at the game, I can see that you only had 29% possession. Just kind of crazy, like just having
Damn.
only holding that much of the ball. But like it's kind of expected because
Yeah.
San Diego, I think, even though they're not doing very well, they lead
That's
the league
true.
in possession. It's kind of the
Yeah.
style they play, and it's interesting seeing like us, especially at home, because like historically at home we would never allow a team to like boss us like that. But I think it kind of played in our favor because we could like play on the counter, and that's where we scored our goal. We almost scored the Linger goal, almost was on the counter as well. And I think that it's a kind of shift of a system, which a lot of people are harsh on Ben Olsen for that and being very rigid on the system. But switching from a possession-based team to a team that's like so comfortable away from the ball I think it's a big move.
Let me ask you, I don't know if you have it pulled up, but the number of passes, I mean, obviously it goes with possession, right? But I remember I was watching the broadcast in Spanish, and they were talking about how San Diego had like a bunch of passes, like, throughout the season. And then they were like, oh, they just hit the pass like 300. And they were like, dang, how many Houston have? And they're like 30. So like it was a crazy, like, obviously those weren't the numbers, but it was a big difference of like how much they want to keep the ball, move the ball. And to your point, how good, I don't know if adapted or how good, I guess Houston played this game to be able to score and kind of like maintain the 1-0 lead throughout the game, which is funny because I saw a lot of people complaining about that in social media about how like they play like crap, yet they won, but people were still mad because they play like crap. So it's like, what do you want? Like the meme from the Notebook, and it's raining. He's like, what do you want for that? That is like what I wanted to tell people. Like, does it, I guess, let me ask you guys a question before you tell me the passes, because I asked you a question. I'm not letting you answer. But so going back to Argentina, right? So the big like rivalry, obviously Boca River. And for River, like those fans are, they always say like they rather play pretty than win, or they want to win playing pretty. When it comes to like the Boca side of people, they're like, we don't care about how we play. As long as we win.
Just win, baby.
Yeah, win 1-0 every single game to like, and hang from the post for 90 minutes. That's fine.
I know, Jay. Christian over here reaching for the note. To this day, I have not watched that. I've been married for quite a long time, and I still have not watched this.
I'm surprised.
I've been told that I need to watch it, and I'm here standing.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. But yeah, so that first question goes for you, DynaStats, and then the other question goes for you guys. Does it matter if you play pretty if you win, or you rather win and play pretty at the same time?
I mean, for the second question, like I don't care how they play. I honestly found it beautiful how we played in that game. Like I'm happy sitting back, having the other team attack, and just like defending is. I think that's art in itself. I think for some fans, seeing the other team attack can be a little scary. It can make it seem that it's like a bad game. But
yeah,
I think that
good point.
I don't think we played bad. But to passes, we had 317 passes. They had 791. So that's like 2.5 times the amount of passes, which is crazy. But I think a lot of theirs came in the back half. I think like the leaders in MLS for passing are like their center backs. They just pass the ball around the back a lot. But I think teams are kind of catching on to their style of play because they even just lost this last weekend to Portland. Too.
Yeah, I mean, and they lost like a bunch of games already this season. So it, like you said, having possession at the end of the day doesn't really give you the game. It just gives you pretty stats on a notebook, at least for them.
and then we've seen it, right? We call it what the FIFA curse in a way that you no matter what, you can have like so many shots on target, you can have all this, but you can not score, and that at the end of the day, your opponent may just get one opportunity, they score and win the game. So it doesn't really matter to me. It's all about winning. I don't care if they didn't play pretty. If they got the win, that matters. Now, when it comes to losses, you also take into account, right, like the play style, but then you also, to me, it's the goals. I mean, if it's goals, and we'll talk a little bit because I feel that way a little bit about Austin. I think just those are the type of goals that you really can't do much when it comes to the goalkeeping aspect of it.
Yeah.
And obviously that maybe, DynaStats, you can get a little bit more into Bond's numbers as well and how that may affect it. But let's go ahead and move on. I'll play the Austin match here. And we'll start with I didn't even count them, but there was quite a few changes to that starting lineup. Obviously, they make it into a 4-4-2 instead of that 4. Do you guys call it a 4-3-4-3, or is it a 5 defense? I don't know. It's complicated. Is it?
It depends who you ask. It depends who you ask. Yeah.
Yeah,
it depends who you ask, I guess.
Yeah, obviously, you'd see Svichenko in the lineup, Sam Bynes in the lineup, Hector Herrera, Arthur getting his first start of the season. You get to see Ezequiel Ponce back in the lineup. And in the bench, obviously, just having Jack McGlynn back is important. And interesting enough, I feel that poor Dwayne Holmes has found himself in purgatory the last few weeks, and I feel like he's a guy that was serviceable. I don't know. What's your thoughts on him, Leenser?
I think he's all right. I don't think he's like a top quality player, but I think he should be at least getting some minutes, and I think he's better defensively than Enali. I feel like in the San Diego game, at least he should have come on.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that, again, he's not like the best thing ever, but honestly, he hasn't really. It's not like you felt Griffin Dorsey leave, right? I mean, he was serviceable, and that kind of tells you maybe the level that Dorsey had been playing as of late. I mean, we know he is a high motor guy, but the final product comparison to what Holmes provides just wasn't there either. But at least he wasn't Holmes attacking, and we did see, the last time Holmes played, he had a couple shots on goal as well, so he got up pretty high and got the same result. But so an interesting lineup, lots of changes in comparison to midweek. Again, something we don't necessarily see often, I would say, unless there's injury. And so it's kind of good to see Ben make some changes, as the matches are slowly but surely, it's getting a little congested for sure. But all right. Now, Christian, you can ask Leenser what you asked him 5 minutes into this podcast, brother.
How did you like it?
I mean, it's a nice stadium. I've been there a couple of years ago for an away game when Coco scored the winner. It was a 1-0 win, first win in Austin. That was a pretty good game.
I was covering that game. See, look at that. I was there in the media press box there, huh?
Yeah, that was a really good game. And honestly, I was hoping for another good game like that. But I mean, at least with the stadium atmosphere, like I felt it was nice. The fans were loud whenever they scored a goal or Stuber made a save. And they always have the Stuber chant. I think that's pretty nice. But outside of that, I felt it was actually kind of quiet. I was surprisingly more quiet than I expected because Austin has a reputation of being like one of the most loud stadiums. But I didn't really see that much. But it was still not bad. It was still a good experience. I mean, better than the Shell. It's a low bar.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, it is true.
It is true. And it was funny to see, obviously people were posting. The game was at 7:30, right? So it was a 7:30 kickoff. And I saw people on Twitter, that were there, were like, oh, there's nobody at the stadium. It's like, it was going to take a little bit, to fill up. I obviously you were there. You probably took, I've been there. Yes, because you have to take that bus, right? They give you a bus ride from where you park. And so you do get to see like all the people just walking, and they have like a long walk because there's not really a ton of parking in the area. So, I mean, it takes people a minute to get into that stadium. And like you said, we were talking before we started recording, and, I think there's a lot of things that Austin does well, organization wise and stuff like that. I mean, I hope they'd never win a title if you're asking me, but in any capacity, they were close last year and they couldn't get it done. So, but yeah, it goes to the point that there's the fans are still going to show up. I mean, it's still their only professional team there, and it's that's what you want. That atmosphere is what you want to have, whether it's overhyped with the lights and the sound, like the augmented sounds or whatever they may be, but still pretty cool. From looking at it being there, it gives me a lot of like Bundesliga vibes. I don't know if that's kind of like what you get, maybe. I don't know. Lesnar, is that kind of what you compare it to? You know what I mean? Like maybe because it's a big wall of fans, and I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I really like how they have some of the presentations in the stadium too. It's kind of like almost like weird and like almost gimmicky, but that's kind of what Austin is. Austin's kind of like a quirky, keep Austin weird city, and I think that really kind of resonates well with them, maybe. But I think it's nice. It's something different, and I think there's some lessons that I think people at the Shell should go take a look at and maybe change some stuff up back home.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's still kind of it's so open too, so it doesn't necessarily feel like a state of the art stadium, but kind of gives you. I don't want to be rude and say high school like stadium, like,
but it does
to do, but because it's open on the corners, like it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe.
Dallas Stadium is a high school stadium. Come on, come on.
Oh man,
I'm not wrong on that.
But I stopped the highlights right at the first goal. I'll go back just a tad. I want to talk a little bit about maybe something that I keep finding concerning, but I feel that every time, for whatever reason, I don't know how concussions away Felipe Andrade is, from like not playing. But man, that guy, I know he doesn't appear like here at this goal that Nelson scored. Here he has the headband on, and that was just such a good strike. I mean, it hits the the inside of the post. We saw Linger do the same midweek. It didn't go in. This time it goes in for them, and I mean, Bond is just an spectator of a really good strike. I mean, what else could he do there, listener?
I mean, I think the problem is not with Bond. I think they can't really cannot blame him. I think just like the defense, just not having anyone with Andrade to like help him. Of course, Andrade also part of blame, but I think you need your two midfielders, either Arturo or Hector Herrera, one of them to be at least closer there. Arturo is almost there. I think he should have put a foot in and at least try to win the ball back, because in giving him a lot of space, sure, it's a good strike, but I think with the space he's given, that's a strike I think he's like expected to make.
Yeah,
that really is true. Strike. Also, if you go back to on the play, we're not gonna go back, but Bogusz also no, it won't show it. It won't show it. Oh, but Bogusz doesn't track back.
No,
and that's where it starts in a way. Like if you want to go really, really back, that's kind of where it starts. That pass to Christian Ramirez there. And it's because the dude had like forever to like be able to drive the ball, and it was like 3 against 5. And with a succession of passes there, they were able to go from one side to the other, where it was all crowded on one side, and then they were able to get Nelson with a 1-on-1 against the defender Andrade, and that was just that. But like the transition of Austin was really good, but it all started because they lost the ball and they didn't like run back to like track it. Which Bogusz, I think he was the one that was the closest and could have done a little bit more. And then we can get into Bogusz now or later, but that's another man that, part of that DP drought.
Yeah, I know. And I was going to add regarding like when Jaden Nelson ended up getting, like he was tearing up that side, man. He was just, again, Felipe was just having a lot of issues with him. I think that you felt that, man, this guy's gonna score another goal, like it's coming. It was a matter of time. He gets injured, and if I put my Houston Dynamo hat fan on, I was like a sigh of relief. I was like, all right, the guy that was just destroying the defense, it's out, and you were like, okay, I feel a little better. Maybe this is gonna get better. It's gonna stabilize. Houston's gonna get back on the ball. They're gonna defend better. That wasn't the case. Obviously, I'll continue, but I mean, is that kind of the feeling that you guys got as well? And maybe what changes? I mean, obviously, we saw Antonio Carlos, not start. You guys Vychenko to start. I mean, what's the issue there, guys? How are we feeling with that center backs?
You can go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I think center back's like serious problem with this team. I think like there's a serious like weakness. I think just in terms of like how the team is constructed. We have two super old center backs. We have only one real like mobile center back in Halter who's injured, and then we have 6'6" Rash who we can't really expect to be the fastest. And then also on top of that, we're playing 4 attackers that probably don't want to press back. So that's where the defensive problems come from this season, I think. But then apart from that, I forgot the first part of what you asked was, but I think that's the defense is just from the way how the squad's constructed is just poor.
And it just hasn't been consistent because of injuries, Christian. Whatever you want.
No, it's a good observation because I think if this team is very heavy on who's playing in that middle, defensive middle section. So like Arthur or Hector Herrera or Samaseku or
there's a good strike here, by the way, too.
Bro, that boy got done up right there. Poor guy.
Yeah.
That was such a nice little nutmeg. And then he almost got the second one. I think he's too much of a righty, and so the ball kind of twisted to the. It kind of went. But that's so good. So I think they what DynaStats is saying, like they heavily rely on those middle guys because the defense it's not great in a sense, and the best one is out. I think if Lucas Halter gave such a bump to that defensive end that it just kind of sucks that he's not around because he's the one that can give you a little bit more security. And Bogusz and Ali, other than try to sprint back and try to fall you or whatever.
Decent strike. Decent strike here by Bynes too, by the way.
Yeah.
And then here's the goal. This is the wall did not do their job. I mean, what can we say about this, man? I'll say what I told you guys. I hate when people celebrate crappy goals like they just scored and won the World Cup. Like that was
like the one you sent on the group chat.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
Magnificent.
It makes no sense, dude. You hit a terrible shot and you go celebrate it like
I was trying to figure out who
it maybe just me. Maybe that's just my fandom here.
No, it's true. Don't celebrate crappy goals. That's just not cool. I'm trying to figure out who hit and why because you can see Arthur kind of tearing somebody a new one.
I don't know.
And I was like, who are you yelling at?
Someone moved.
But then again, it looks like he moves. Like it looks like he's the one that kind of opens up from the wall. So I don't know who to blame. I wish we had like a camera from the back.
Yeah. I don't know who moved.
It's kind of hard.
Like whoever has their hands, and I know I'm keep moving my cursor like you guys can see it, but whoever it's right there holding what seems to be their growing at this point.
Is that Vines all the way at the end?
It may be Vines.
We would have to go back and kind of look and see.
Yeah.
But see, somebody's they keep yelling at, I think it's at Resh, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it seems like somebody turns, which is the whole point of you being on the wall is for you not to turn, is to take the hit.
Yeah.
But I think that just that one.
You can't tell.
See, somebody jumps.
You really don't know. It's definitely someone on the wall. It doesn't look like it's.
See, who they look at.
I'm going to say it's Ponce. Everybody's looking at Ponce.
They look at Resh. That's who they look at. I feel bad.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Shevchenko looks at Resh too, because Shevchenko's on the other side of the wall. I don't know. It just sucks. And then Bond just kind of flew to one side.
The more I look at it, I feel like it was Ponce. And we can talk about him as soon as this. Look, I'm just letting you know that the highlights are almost over and it's barely minute 55 here. So that's how boring this game was after that goal. I know there's some opportunities that don't show. I think
that was a good one.
Even I want to say it was Bogusz or was it even McGlynn? They had a shot that was decent. I mean, they were trying a long distance. It was Bogusz. It was this one, I think.
I think it was this one.
No, that was a decent one too. But there's one that the Stuver saved. But yeah. We'll get more into it. Let me go ahead.
Ben Olsen goes to the ref. I don't know what he's complaining about.
I don't know either.
Every single game he does that.
Like his team sucked. I mean, you just got, overplayed or whatever the word is. Like they were just superior to you. Like your team had no ideas whatsoever. And like I was watching in Spanish again.
Look at this.
The same.
And then I would celebrate the same if I scored like that against my father. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but to be somebody's father, that means you have to be better than them. In Austin, at this point, they have more wins. So
I think when we last week when me and Herman were talking about this, we just said, it's Austin for whatever reason, just it's so good over the Dynamo, whether it be home and away. And we understand that, in Austin, I mean, it was, you mentioned about going to that game, DynaStats, and seeing that game, that win. And that's the only one that they've had in however many games there. And then obviously, and you look at what they've done in Shell Energy Stadium, and it's very similar. I think Austin just comes and gets points. But before we stop talking about Austin and we move into kind of this, we're going to start talking about that DP drought. I really want, especially, Leenser to hit us with it, with like the stats that we have. And I think they're very simple, man. We looked at them already before we started recording for some of these guys. But the aura of like the fans, DynaStats was mentioning just like the way that the fans are. But if you guys haven't already, timeout.
I don't want to cut you. I don't cut you off, but we're not on YouTube right now. I think they cut it down because the videos. I think they got mad. They got mad because we
telling
say
you, dude. If it's LAFC or if it's Austin,
somebody from Dallas, they're like, "You're not a high school stadium."
Yeah.
Go to Twitter. Go to Twitter if you're there.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's put in the comments. Go to Go to X. I think people on X can still see us.
Yeah, it should come back either way.
Yeah, eventually. We'll keep you posted, guys.
It did that last time. Where else I gonna go? Oh, yes. So you mentioned about the fans. I think it's nice. I mean, obviously, this is a rivalry that is starting to kind of brew, and it's definitely lopsided currently with Austin fans. But if you have not seen it already, Maddie was there in Austin as well, and kind of tends to, when she does away games, she tries to get a bunch of clips throughout the day and then put them all together to kind of show what that. Sorry. Okay. So it put it all together, for to show what that they look like. But from all the videos she sent me, there's this funniest clip, and I don't know. I know I'm putting it here. So if you're watching us, streaming live, you get to watch it. If you're listening the next day, go to YouTube and look for it. We are at minute 38 almost, so you can look for that clip. But I'll play here. I want to get your thoughts on this, guys. Come on, like, is this something? Put your fandom hat on here. But what do you feel about this kid? Is he doing it right? Like the parents racing this kid right, or
100%?
And for whatever reason, it's not playing. So let me work on that. All right, but you can describe what the video is, Christian. Now, let me.
If I'm not mistaken, is a kid that is like right in front of the Dynamo supporter section at the Austin game. No, he probably had a good 100, 150 Dynamo supporters. I don't know what number was there, and he's just kind of looking at his mom, like he's ignoring the people.
He's risking his life.
He's risking his life, not only his life but his mother's life, which is, if it was your dad, go ahead. Your dad can fight, but your mom, like, bro, that's sacred, bro. Don't risk your mom's livelihood for you trying to be cool. This kid is probably 7, 8. I was gonna say a different number, but I didn't, out of respect for him. But he's probably like 7 or 8, or maybe younger, and he's just shushing people. Like, but the funny thing is, like, he doesn't directly look at the fans, which are in a way beneath them, but he just stares into nowhere. And he's just shushing people.
Let me see that. I think I got it. Let me play it now. See, I'm back.
If I remember it correctly.
Why is it not playing? What's wrong with this? Oh, I know. I clicked the same exact video. What a dummy I am sometimes. We're here. Austin Kid. That's what I named this clip. Look at this kid. Look at this aura on this kid. Look at it. And the clip itself. So I had to break it down, but look at the way, and he's looking straight at the supporter section. Look at him. The mom
like
just high
bro.
fives. Oh, this kid, and then obviously in the background you see the old guy way in the back. And there's another guy, the guy in white, that turns around and shows the birdie to the supporter section, also trying to, playing the game. But that little kid, I didn't know if it was to be mad or just to be happy the way that this kid was acting. And in a place in America that they say soccer is not a thing here, guys. But man, that kid right there,
he's going places.
However old he is, man, he renovated my image of MLS.
Honestly, if I'm Austin, I know this clip probably is not out there yet, but
I know
once it goes out there, they have to pick this video up and just blow it up. Honestly,
I was thinking. I know that probably Hefe was definitely not gonna be happy about it, but I was so thinking of just tweeting it and seeing like, hey Austin, you have a cool fan. Look at this kid. Look at, and actually, I ended up cutting the video off, but his dad also was trying to give him high fives, and he kept doing it. He just kept doing it and looking at the fans, and I'm like, I don't know, man. If it was me, one more goal, and that kid would have made it down the stairs a long way. I mean, that's just me.
Sparta kicking.
No, but I honestly, I thought that's a good fight. I don't know. DynaStats, awesome. You dig it?
I think it's just funny. Yeah, I think it's just it's a little kid, right? What can you do? I mean, I think it's also nice seeing some passion, like you said. In the US, we get a bad rep for how we support teams, but it's a good way to have.
And you know what was the best thing about this video? That is like wholesome in a way, because he's not like your typical little kid, just like with the finger, or like just or yelling or just being disrespectful. He's being actually a very respectful individual, but he's also like, he doesn't even look like, he doesn't turn completely. He just side eyes. Like, you guys don't even deserve my full
right. Like it
gaze.
doesn't like as a Dynamo fan, I'm sure people like from El Batallón, they may be watching this now, or people from
but that kid is awesome.
Army, or The Surge. You're watching this in real time. You're probably, I know Mateusz was like, wow, bro, this sucks. We're getting trolled by kindergarten at this point. But whenever you see this video now, and granted, when I saw it was the next day too, I was like, my goodness, the aura on this kid is just impressive, man. This kid has more confidence than I have at my old age, man.
He probably has like 3 girlfriends at school, like super confident kid. And also, I mean, if you are in like this in the Dynamo supporter groups, you can't hate him. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you can. Like Rishan said, the best ATX fan there.
When you win, you're like, you have some entitlement to kind of do certain things.
Those
like
bragging rights, huh?
Yeah, don't be.
I would do the same.
You don't have to be an ass, to brag. But
how many times have you gone to? I think I will say, and I have a homework for Maddie. Keep mentioning Maddie, but she's doing a really good job with the fan and reporting, and I have some homework for there. But for me, I've never felt mad enough to like flick somebody off, even if they're losing, or like the players aspect of it. But for sure, as a fan, and if you see a lot of visitors, like a lot of fans visiting as well, you just give them the waves, after a loss, just good wishes, and I mean that right there is great. Exactly. Safe travels home, guys.
Yeah, you just gotta be. It's like, hey, you're late. To like, you just gotta, you gotta be thoughtful. There's no need for violence. You just gotta make him mad without violence, which is the best part. When you're like super nice to somebody that is very angry, it makes them even angrier, and that's the best.
Rage bait.
Yeah, literally. Just be manly,
no kidding. And all this to give you guys some rage bait here, talking about the DPs. Right. So we're gonna go a little bit into the stats. I mean, I know it's 9 games in to the MLS season. People are gonna say it just started. I mean, dude, this is a third of the season in already, basically. So, me and DynaStats talked a bit about, we understand, people keep it's, in the universe of the Dynamo, it looks like don't play Ponce. If you play Ponce, been out. Kind of the math. That's the Dynamo match currently for the fans. And it's, you can't deny the fact that a DP that's getting paid that much money, 9 games into an MLS season. And yes, he did miss a couple games because of injury. So we'll give him a little, maybe he's only played 5.5 games, but you still haven't scored goals nor assist. And while he gives you good games, right? He holds up the ball. He fights for, moving forward. What you get paid for is not being done. And, who are we to, who wants to come and see us work and tell us how we're doing things wrong? But, it's the time. And if you watch, and I hope you do, follow us at Bayou City Soccer.net and everything that we do. But when it comes to the podcast, we are going to stand firm on seeing the positive side of things, because, it's easy to just lose track of it. Well, what I mean? It's easy to lose track of it and blowing things out of proportion. But personally, I feel that I am not necessarily hitting the full-on panic button, but this is very worrisome, especially for a guy that I
got my finger on it though.
And right, it's right there. Just make me sneeze, man. Look at me the wrong. But I mean, I was thinking Ponce was going to give me 15 goals this season. That's my my prediction.
That's why so positive, because you need him to.
Exactly.
He's in my golden boot too. He's in. I needed to do well.
Both of you need him to do well.
But yeah, so I mean, DynaStats, I don't know if you have comparisons, but I mean, what is this looking like at this point, dude? It's, I mean, a guy that has 0 goals, 0 assists, 9 matches. Again, I know he's played a few less games than the 9, but and we can start with Ponce, but we cannot forget to talk about Mateusz Bogusz, who also, a record signing as well. Obviously, he beats out what they spent for Ponce, and he does have 1 goal, 1 assist. Is that enough? I mean, 2 DP, big salaries, only 1 goal and assist out of both those guys.
That's crazy.
Guys.
That's 2 guys with 1 goal, 1 assist from 2 guys, and they all came from 1 guy. So the other guy, like somebody said on the chat, playing with Ponce is like playing with 10 men. At some point, it feels like it, but that sucks.
I don't know about you, Rushan. I love sit-in. I was worried of sit-in, off the field stuff. Sit-in. That's what worries me. On the field, I'm okay.
He was a dog in the field and outside the field.
But anyway, Lesnar, what's your thoughts on Ponce? And then you can go into him and Bogusz as you feel like.
I think Ponce, like when he first joined, I was very patient with him. I felt that even though he wasn't scoring goals, he was at least like doing well in build-up play, getting good chances at least. But this season, it's like been a whole new level of bad. Like it's like every time he touches the ball, he makes a mistake. It's like even in like usually I would say, hey, he's doing well in build-up, but in build-up he's been awful. There's been at least 3 or 4 times in this last game where he just single-handedly ruins attacks. I mean, just like can't pass the ball. And like even in the San Diego game, he had like before the not San Diego, but the Orlando game, I think the Hector Herrera goal, where he had a absolute sitter, like anyone could score that, and then he absolutely missed. I think it's partly a confidence issue, but then at the same time, like you're getting paid millions of dollars. You're the most $2 million most highest paid person on the entire team. And you can't score even a single sitter. Like you have really good players around you. You have Guilherme, Bogusz, Enali, Hector even in the midfield, and you can't score a single. That's really pitiful, honestly.
And to add to that, it's just you're right. I mean, the decision making is just not good. Sometimes you feel that, the guy that he should pass the ball, he passes it to the wrong guy, or he even going to the U.S. Open Cup. And I know we'll talk a little bit about that being the next game, but. I mean, he had before he scored the goal, which was an impressive goal. We'll give him that. But he had one in front of goal. And for whatever reason, this guy decides to move to his left foot. Dude, you're right footed. Go with your strong foot. It just maybe you're right. Maybe he's just too far gone being so in his head that is just getting in the way of capitalizing. But at this point, guys, I mean, I know many of the fans and the supporters that follow the team closely want him on the bench, and for Linger to be in it. And again, we talked about Linger just getting a dumb red when he just had like really good games. So do you expect him to fall off? I mean, US Open Cup, seeing Linger start again, or maybe Markinick. But what about the weekend game? Is he still starting for you guys?
I think he's going to start just because he's a DP.
On what game? On the MLS game or the midweek, like on Wednesday?
That's a good question. I don't think he starts Wednesday, but I do think he starts on the weekend. He might come in later on but yeah, I wasn't thinking about Louisville. I don't know. Me myself, I wouldn't start him any other games. But I know that Ben is gonna start him on one of the games, probably on the weekend game. It's just, I mean, the question is how much is enough? I don't know if that makes sense, but like, how much can you back this guy up knowing that he has 8 games under his belt and his chance creation is not there, right? I don't think he can create by himself. He needs somebody to create for him. I'm looking at, some kind of stats, or no, I don't know if stats, but crosses per match.
Yeah,
is like the Dynamo's like in the top 11 in the MLS, so they get some crosses into the box. So service is there. The thing is, like, he's not putting them in. You know what I mean?
And that's why I think it's so easy to like bundle Bogusz with this, right? Because I feel that Bogusz was brought in alongside Guilherme to help produce more opportunities. And Lessner, you asked Ben about that, right? About just the lack of creativity in the final third and the lack of it. And he was very transparent. I mean, at first it looked like he was going to tell you, dude, we created a bunch. Then he looked at the numbers and you're like, yeah, man, this is not looking good.
Yeah, I think his response, like, after the game is just really, really bad. Like, after the game, he was like, he didn't almost, like, I would have expected him to, like, kind of flame his team a bit, but he was just like, oh, they just wanted it more. That's that. Like, that should not be something you just accept, right? As a coach, you should not be letting the other team just want it more, especially when it's a team that's in awful form like Austin. Like, you can't just let that happen. And yeah, I just felt like his overall responses were just like, it's fine. We won 2 games this week. It's all right. That's the first thing I just want to begin with. I just felt like Ben's responses this weekend, especially, went really bad. So going back to Ponce and our number 9 situation, the last pre-match press conference, he talked about how Ponce is not even the best finisher on the team, that Markanic is the best finisher on the team, which I think is really funny, considering that, Markanic, I don't think he's spending any money on him. I think he's on a free loan, and Ponce is spending God knows how much. But then, yeah, chance creation is just very one-dimensional in that game. I felt like there were so many chances where they just gave the ball to Guilherme or Bogusz and just said, do whatever you want, just 1v11.
I would like to apologize to Ponce. He is on the stat sheet. He has 2 yellow cards. So there you go. It's not all bad things, I guess. There's numbers out there. But yeah, Christian, I mean, we've talked about this. The hype of him. What's up with Ponce, man?
I mean, if you go back to like his historical seasons, right? Or not historical, but like every time he played, right? He had one season, I think it was back in Greece, where he had like 16 goals or something like that, or maybe 19. But that was his most he's ever scored in a calendar year or in a season for a team. And then after that, there's a bunch of 10s to 15, 10 to 12s, 10 to 14. He's not, I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. Is he worth it that much? That's the true question. Can you get somebody like, not Markanic, because that's a guy that you're just kind of giving him a trial in a sense, but can you get another guy that is worth the same or around that much that can actually come in and score? Is there another number 9 out there in the world that could come to the Houston Dynamo for that amount of money and have not similar, hopefully not, but better results than Ponce.
Well,
and I think
but if-
there
definitely has to be. But to your point, I mean, and to DynaStats' point, if you have a basically free trial on Nick, and you're calling him the better finisher, dude, bench Ponce for a game or two and let Nick play. And we see that obviously in Linger's case, he can do everything, right? He can just don't put him at wing back for the love of God, But
yeah, and I mean, I don't know how much like politics inside of the club matter. I think there is something to be said about that. I mean, like he was saying right now about the responses from Ben Olsen, like saying it that another team wanted it more than yours. Like, yeah, you can say it, but it's not the first time that he said it this year. You know what I mean? And it's not the first time last year he said it a few times more. So like at this point, should I start questioning you and your coaching staff for not building the motivation for your players to go out there and want it more, especially in a rivalry match that that 150 people, I don't know how many it went. I'm going to stick to 150, but 150 people, earned, spent their hard-earned money to not only travel there, but like buy a ticket, sit in a freaking corner, get yelled at, get pushed at by security. We always know that he gets judged by a 7-year-old and just like all these things. And then also now you have to go back, 2 hours going home because you lost and you spent a good amount of money. And the coach, the only thing he can give you is, the other team wanted it more. It's like, bro, that's so disrespectful to the fans, to the people that spend their money. And the question is, going back to Ponce, is how much does that come from, up above? I don't know if from Pat and Asher, or I don't know if from Ted. I don't know if Ted, I don't think he's the one making, decisions on like, hey, maybe he is. I paid so much money for this guy. I need him to play. I mean, yeah. If I'm spending my money, right, it'd be like, at least have him run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then also, obviously, you want results. So it's like, does Ben? I mean, because Ben had no say when they sold Dorsey. If it was any other league in the world, maybe he would have kept him. In the sense that sometimes coaches, they're like, hey, well, obviously, it is the MLS, it is the Houston Dynamo, and it is Ben Olsen. They're not renowned names, right?
I have two things for you guys to kind of ponder. Obviously, you mentioned Ben Olsen, and I was going to go with that in the sense of Ben Olsen is an MLS coach, right? He knows how the leagues work, no matter how much it's changed since he arrived to the league as a player, obviously as a coach, but he understands that it's a long season. And all you have to do is sneak into the playoffs. And this, to me, is still a playoff team. I know that in the stand, they're 9th or 10th currently. They are a good team with. Wait, think about this.
I hate that mentality, though.
No. But that's
nothing personal.
No, I get it. But again, that's the what is it? Hate the game, not the player, right? At this point,
true. Honestly, yeah.
You kind of have to understand where you're getting into.
Right.
He understands that there's levels to it, and he's going to try to win whatever's in front of him. I don't think he ever backs down of competitions. I don't think he's a fan of Leagues Cup. That's one, and there's no Leagues Cup this year. Sure. So, but that's point number one, and you guys can handle that. And then the second point that I was going to say is also seeing the glass half full, half empty, however you want to see it. The fact of like it could be worse scenario, like maybe an Atlanta United that has a very good coach, right? Tata Martino, who sacrificed everything in their mama to get Argentina their third World Cup. We won't talk about that. It doesn't hurt my feelings anymore. It's only been 4 years. So who cares? But
the wound is not open yet,
right?
Still.
But Atlanta, I mean, look how much money they spend, right? Bringing back, a club legend like Almiron, bringing what's his name, Emmanuel Lara. And exactly, all these guys are extremely good. But they're just not clicking, and they're doing awful. And then you can get even worse. You can be Sporting Kansas City, who I think they forgot how to play soccer.
Or even San Diego too. I mean,
yeah. But anyways, anything you guys want to expand on those two, and then we'll move on to U.S. Open Cup.
I mean, it could always be worse, but at the same time, you can always say that. It's always like it's kind of a cop out, right? You still do want to be a good playoff team. And I think like with Ponce especially, like if they do look to sell him, I think they're in a really good situation because if we do get rid of Ponce, like not to get too technical, but we can go to like a different roster model where we have 2 DPs and 4 U22s. And I'd like to see us invest in a nice U22 center back, get someone else who's got some pace on him. And we get so much more game that we can maybe get maybe bring back Corey Barrett.
That boy's playing the long game. He's playing the long game.
Bring Corey Barrett, reunite them with Aliu at this point.
Jesus.
I think Linger is good enough to play up front. I think Linger can play as a starting 9. And maybe if you get just some like MLS experience behind him, I'm completely open with selling. I'd be more than happy if you sell Ponce. If it just means we get better center backs.
Who's buying Ponce though? That's the question at this rate, man.
You gotta sell it
for anything. For anything.
Yeah, send them to Mexico. Mexico overpays for players.
That's true. That's true. Anybody? Somebody hit up Cruz Azul.
For real. Tell them it's like Bogusz but better. But hey, that's the other person we haven't talked about. Bogusz. What a letdown, huh? That's a guy that had so much. I personally, I was speaking for myself, but I had so much like expectations for him. I was like, it's a dude that played in the league, killed it in the league. Granted, he played with LAFC with a bunch of killers around him, and now he has to play with different killers. But and obviously you're like, well, he's a Polish dude that went to Mexico. Obviously the differences are there. It kind of makes sense why he probably wouldn't adapt to a Mexican league which is as quirky as the MLS. But I feel like the MLS, physically it's very similar to some of the leagues in Europe in a sense. So I was like, well, he's gonna come back to a Dynamo that is kind of somewhat stacked in a way. I mean, we didn't know about Guillermo and what he could do, and he turned out to be a beast. And I was, and which even, you don't understand it then because you're like, you have a beast next to you, and you have an alley with somebody with pace, and you have, Ponce that could be a good number 9, and you have Jack McGlynn. So like, it's like, decent players around you that should make you a star in a way because they could prop you to stand out or give you space or room for you to do your thing. And he's been a freaking ghost. I mean, nothing, honestly. Because his goal was, I don't remember his goal, but I don't think it was that great. Maybe it was.
It was a winner against Portland.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, where have we seen Bogusz?
He's hit a bunch of posts, and you tell people those don't count. I guess they're missing.
Unfortunately, don't.
But I mean, he's been active. It's just the final product is not there. And again, it's part of the worrisome aspect of it because I feel that you expected him to kind of click in a way that maybe Guillermo was, the opposite for Guillermo, right? Everybody thought he was going to be the bust, and he's the one carrying this team. And I mentioned it before, and I hate talking about injuries, but if you happen to lose him for a bit, what is the hell is happening with the Dynamo attack if it's basically non-existent?
There's no attack.
Exactly. So it goes from being barely existent to, but kaput, man, it's gone. And funny enough, I was going through the scorers for the season currently. Obviously, Dallas Musa has 9 goals. Surridge has 9 goals. Brian White, 8 goals. Nicolas Fernandez has 8 goals. And the reason I was going down the list, I was trying to see who Ponce probably made more money. And I think the only one that he is I guess gets, well, I don't know. Maybe there's a couple more, but there's Preston Jude has 6 goals. We'll go with him. The guy gets paid like 200,000. So basically 10% of, exactly. So it's, wow. I mean, and that's another thing. San Jose's been in a different breed this year. I mean, they're unstoppable. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and we're only an hour in, so you're doing good timing. But we won't roll any like another hour, hopefully. I know that Edgar tends to always listen and says, make it 3 hours. No problem. I'm here.
I got time.
Yeah, right. I just got to take out the trash. Remind me because my alarms are gone. Right. But going into this Louisville match, we've probably talked about this enough. I mean, the U.S. Open Cup is such a great tournament. I love it. I just love elimination matches. And, this could easily been, Jay would say it's still early out here in LA. That's true, brother. That's true.
It's bedtime.
It's this could easily been another, Houston Dynamo against Austin matchup. Obviously, it didn't happen because
imagine back to back.
Austin choked that match against Louisville. But I mean, does that worry you? That's where I'm gonna start with. I mean, obviously Louisville beating Austin. Austin beats you. How worried are you about this matchup, Christian? Or you think it's easy cake? I mean, I know we overhyped El Paso last week, and
yes,
it was easy.
Honestly, I did overhype El Paso, and I'll take that. I was very scared, honestly, not because. Well, I mean, I don't know about El Paso, right?
The Tengo Miedo meme is back and alive.
100%.
Love that meme.
Is alive. But just because El Paso obviously had good results, not that I watched them, so I had no idea how they played, if they were good actually, but just the fact that they were in a good form. And sometimes when you play tournaments like this, it doesn't matter if you're good or not. It just matters if you score and you don't get scored on, right? Like as simple as that when it comes to soccer and some of these games, that it doesn't matter. Sometimes, I mean, 99% of the times it's going to matter the quality of the team, but there's always that 1% where it doesn't matter who's on the roster. If they can get a ball in, that's enough, right? And that's what I'm scared of. And because the Dynamo were coming from a 2 or 3 game drought where they couldn't beat anybody, they couldn't score on anybody, and it was just difficult for the Dynamo. And Ben Olsen was in the hot seat. Maybe for me, not for a lot of people. Well, I mean, most of the fan base would say yes. They were freaking yelling at him.
Yeah.
And which is also kind of dumb in a way, but we'll leave that for another time. But so I was scared, right? But then if you look at Louisville right now, they've only lost 1 game this whole entire year, and they tied 1 game. The rest of the games since March, they've won every single match. The caveat in that is that they are a USL team playing against other USL teams, which is something that Dustin really brought, to the forefront when we had our conversations. And I give him that, right? Like he had a really good point with that. And it does make 100% sense in the sense that the quality of the teams that they play don't match the quality of a Houston Dynamo or even a Sporting Kansas City that is bad, or even Austin, right? I think Austin probably played with a bunch of
and I was gonna get
right?
that. There was definitely a lot of backups. They were dealing with a lot of injuries, so there's definitely an asterisk there. But still, right? It makes you think.
Scary, bro.
And I don't think this Dynamo team is playing bad. I don't know if that's the general. Apart from they
don't play good either.
Lunatic fringe, but I mean, in the sense of, what you need is goals, right? And that's not happening. So of course, that's as we've talked about for the last 15 minutes about the DP struggling. It's crazy. But now, if you give opportunity to the guys that are hungry and want to get into the match and are able to produce like they did against El Paso, being Nick, being Andre, that's the guy you'd roll with, wouldn't you, Leenser?
Yeah, I think the U.S. Open Cup is really important for us this year, especially because it's Ben Olsen's contract year, and this is like an important thing. Like, even if we somehow don't make the playoffs, if we do win the U.S. Open Cup, have a good run, it's such an important thing for him. And I think he's not gonna just leave it and not really think much of it. Which I don't know if Austin did that. Austin, obviously, they reached the final last year. And I'm taking a look at the lineup, and the lineup actually looks pretty strong for the game they lost against Louisville. But again, it's a USL team. It's a bunch of people that couldn't make it in this league for a reason. There's a clear quality gap in there. And I think going to Bogusz and Jeremy, I think just the 2 of them are just too good to lose. I'm not going to jinx it, but I just think they're just too good to struggle against a team like this.
They lost 3-0.
We blame DynaStats for that. I'm kidding. No. I'm with you. I think that again, because what we've seen from the Dynamo has been.
Sorry, I like how Rushan just keeps naming old players.
Yeah.
No, don't bring any of them back, bro. It's okay. You gotta move forward, not backwards.
You don't want blessings in your life.
Even though blessing, blessing would have been a good backup.
I wouldn't take blessing over Bossy any day, but anyway,
but Chacha is great. So
Yeah.
he's a younger blessing.
All right, I'm gonna roll the dice as well, and I'm gonna go with DynaStats. I think the Dynamo like thump Louisville, and maybe you guys can come back on Monday, and we absolutely see the Dynamo get crushed or out. I mean, Detroit City did it last year, so
that's
Yeah.
that's
So,
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go crazy. Thump them 1-0. There we go.
Go wild, bro.
0-0 game
minute.
goes to penalties. They miss everything except for one over the bar because I don't think Jonathan Bond can save a penalty. That's who knows.
He's not Steve Clark though. He's not as bad as Steve Clark at that.
That's true. That's a conversation that we didn't have. The stats on our boy.
Yeah, actually, let's go ahead into that. Yeah, I mean,
Poor guy.
That's a good point because I don't think he'll start against Louisville, right? I think Maurer gets a start, but definitely hit the stats on that. But I guess the conversation would be, say Bond does not start, which again he shouldn't. Usually Ben has proven that he picks a second goalkeeper to kind of be the cup goalkeeper. In this case, I guess it'd be Maurer. I think Blake doesn't get to start or start either, which is sad. I would love to see him in there as well. But yeah, DynaStats, give us a little bit of what we've seen from Bond, and is he really that bad? I mean, or is that just the numbers?
Is that just perception?
I don't know. I think Bond, like his numbers are really bad. Like, and then take a look at last year too. But I think honestly, like you can't really blame him too much for what. Like I think he's a good shot stopper at that. I know like a lot of people, like I know Dustin especially doesn't really like Bond, but take a look at the stats. Like he's just not like this.
And they're friends.
Really
Sorry.
Yeah.
Imagine having friends like that, man.
Come on, Bond. I could be your friend.
But I mean, we can't say that like the goals that he took in against Austin. What could he do?
Nothing
right?
you can do. Nothing
you can do. So I mean, there is some, and then there is some that you're like, my goodness, brother, you kind of have to. It hits you in the hand. Like you have to do whatever you can to stop it. I mean, that's part of being the goalkeeper, right? I mean, if it's hitting you in the hand, it needs to be safe. I understand there's different, but sometimes it's like, yeah, you do bonehead moves that you're like, what the heck was that? I mean, it could be worse. You could be Memo Ochoa couple weeks ago doing some stupid stuff. You could be San Diego's goalkeeper, when they played RSL, doing some dumb stuff too. So it's not that yet, but yeah, I mean, you look at it's not XG. What do you guys call it in the nerd stat world that you guys always share?
I think there's post shot XG, which is just like after shot is taken, like the chance of it going in, and then there's another I'm looking at right now, which is goalkeepers goals added, which is just like, I guess it's a like all-in-one metric, but pretty much it just says that Bond is the third worst goalkeeper in the league. Which is, but I think also going to like San Diego's goalkeeper and stuff, like I think we're long overdue of Bond stinker and like passing. Like every single game, like we like escape by the skin of our teeth. Like,
it gets close. It gets close.
It's I hate it so much. Like it just does not make sense why you should just be playing with your food like that. Like it's just I don't get. Even as like a stats guy, like I just do not get.
Oh, we lost you. We lost your microphone. Yeah, and he's not back.
But yeah, okay. So all right, Christian, you also feel Louisville. It's a win.
And I'm scared. I'm scared.
Call it Cupstead. That's fine. All right, Cupstead, and then two.
I don't want to, but I'm always scared. These competitions like scare the crap out of me because I don't know if I can trust in Ben Olsen to put which is weird because I actually liked what he fielded against El Paso. Yeah, I think it was a good mix of guys, and I think what helps him is the fact that if he goes with bench guys, those are the guys that are the hungriest, right? Usually because they want minutes, they want to play. Yeah. So that's the only thing that kind of saves you in a sense, but it is also your second options. So it's like, but then like we said, USL guys are guys that didn't make it to even be second guys in the MLS. Usually, right?
It's good that you point that out because I was even thinking like I don't know if I knew any Louisville City players, and I went to their starting lineup, and the only person that I recognized was Kyle Adams, who actually I believe was drafted by the Dynamo way back when, and he
played for Toros, right?
He played for Toros for a minute, and I think he did play with the Dynamo at least a game.
Curly hair kid?
Maybe he never did. I don't know. I thought he did. I thought he played a U.S. Open Cup match, but
we got.
Anyway, and he's their captain, 29-year-old New Zealand kid. So that's the only one that I recognize, and he's gotten a bunch of like player of the matches for them as well. So, I mean, you know that those guys are gonna look for revenge, right? You know, they were close to playing first or top tier minutes. Doesn't happen, so they play above their weight for sure. So.
Whatever happened to remember that lefty kid that we had from the USL? Is it Indy 11?
Pasher, Tyler Pasher.
Yeah. R.I.P. Pasher.
Yeah,
but he had a hot like streak for a second. You're like, damn, this Pasher kid. He was the guy that you're like, maybe we should look into USL. You know?
Hey, I'll take him over Bogusz right now, man.
Oh, wow. So far.
All right, we're getting close to the finish line here, guys. Let's just touch a little bit on the Colorado match. I don't like to jump ahead, so because there is a midweek. Colorado that obviously was overwhelming and just put the Dynamo to bed pretty quickly. I know the inconsistency is massive, Leenser. And again, that's something that you even asked Ben just about the inconsistencies of this team. We understand, it's a roller coaster. You win, you lose, you win. You want to win more than you lose. Has the Dynamo even drawn a game this season? I don't think they have.
Nope.
Right?
Win or lose, baby.
No.
That's it. Hey, you know what? I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that.
Cold.
But, do you think the Dynamo are able to they've done so bad. They keep letting teams score, early. And that's been the detriment of them. And so can they stop Colorado as well of doing that? And obviously can they stop Louisville? I mean, if Louisville pulls one, what is it? Minute 3, minute 4. That's it. We already, tell Diesel to shut the stadium lights and go home at this point, But yeah, guys, what are you thinking? You think they kind of are able to bounce back in that series and kind of get some points?
It's good revenge. Because you do lose. I think it happened with Vancouver a couple of years back, right? The Dynamo went to Vancouver and got smacked. And
those were such good games for like after dark matches, dude.
And then like they came over here, and then the Dynamo spanked them. So this is a good opportunity for Ben Olsen to kind of like, and the Dynamo as a whole, like as a team, to kind of turn that page and say, okay, that 6-2 loss was a one-time thing. Like, we sucked that day, and it was the worst game ever, which we could say the same with Austin. But this is a good opportunity for the Dynamo to kind of bounce back, at least with them. So I don't know, get some type of respect back, some like dignity. It's like, then y'all scored 6 on us. Because if Colorado comes to Houston and they beat them again, like a solid like 2-3-0, then you're like, damn, we're Colorado's. I don't know. I was gonna say a bad word, but
again, it's difficult to break or kind of preview this matches because there's a game in between and all this stuff, and there could be injuries in that. But I'll finish with this, asking you guys, and this hopefully doesn't go for an hour, but your lineup, everybody's available. Who you starting? And actually, let's go with this. What formation are you using? Leenser, and then we'll kind of fill in the blanks. We'll go with your formation, and then we'll fill in the blanks here.
I think the 4-4-2 and the 3-4-3 inherently are very similar. It's just like how it comes up on paper. But in terms of like lineup, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but I'm not starting Sam Vines again. Sam Vines was awful. He was so bad. I don't know if you could see this in the broadcast, but there was one challenge where he just gets beat for a duel, and then he just doesn't track back. As a left back, it's your job to be tracking back, and he's just standing there, and Ben Olsen's screaming at him like, go back, defend, do your job. And I think it's part of the reason why you got that's the reason why he was on waivers, right? He's not exactly a big money signing. He's coming in low confidence, and I just felt like he played so bad against Austin. But yeah,
That's good.
I like that observation. I like that observation. So okay, so let me let's for shits and giggles. I told myself I'm gonna cuss, but it was right there, so it had to come out. Let's go with a 4-4-2 to make it simple, and we throw back 4-4-2 here, for the love of the game here. But all right, at this point, Bondi is probably gonna start, till the end of day. You're going with the two center backs. Are you still pairing? Would it be wrong? And I know that you're not, too hype on this because you mentioned how old these guys were, but starting as Vichenko next to Carlos, is that a move that we could ever see?
Or we're our age.
Hey, we've talked about this. These guys are 70 years old when it comes to play
and soccer years.
Players. But yeah, it's worse than dog years, I hear. But yeah, I mean, what is the pairing? Like, let's go with the center back. Who's your pairing? Your optimal pairing there?
I think Resh plus Carlos. I think that's the way to go. I think Resh had a bad game, but before that, I mean, so let's not forget, Dynamo had a pretty good run. They had three wins in a row. And Ezequiel,
seems to be done
he
already.
Even last season, he just wasn't very good. Last few games, this is the first start he's had in a while, I think. And Ezequiel, I think he's a bench player right now for us. I think Carlos and Resh has to be our two center backs.
He's lost. You can tell he like lost confidence on him. I don't know if on himself or whatever, but just knowing that Lucas Halter and Carlos Antonio, like, they're in front of you, like, clearly, it I'm sure it's demoralizing in a way. Knowing that you were the guy, quote unquote, last year, like you were the captain. A lot of people were confused because you were like, Arthur is a captain. Why not? Eric. But obviously he did. He came from an injury, which also kind of left him sidelined for a while. But I think he felt like a captain, and now being like a captain and not getting playing time, I'm sure it hits the heart. And then people call you old on podcasts.
They're not gonna like as much if we're just being honest here. But all right, fullbacks. I think at this point, Felipe Andrade is your left back, right? I mean, there's no competition there. But the interesting one is the right back position. I mean, I was thinking it was going to be Aliu, but obviously we see Aliu keeps going a little further up in this kind of 4-4-2 stand. Who's your starting right back? Optimal.
I think you play Negri left back and play Andrade on the right instead. I think Negri's been it's not been amazing, but I think at least he's been solid. He's not been bad.
So Negri on the left, you said?
Yeah.
I'm building the thing as we kind of fill it up, so I can
Negri's
share it later. Sure. We'll share it later. All right. And then so Felipe Andrade on the right. And okay, so then what about your central midfielders? I mean, that one's a little tricky. I think at this point Arthur looks like he's back in, right? So are we putting him in there as one of the starters?
I think so, but I think you have to put Jaji along with him. I think Archer, like, he's good, but I think you still do need another. Like, I don't think he can single-handedly take control on midfield. That's something I've always felt about Archer.
So you would put Archer and Chache, or that's your pairing?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate it. I'm not anything. Samaseco. If I could spell this.
Bosat also hasn't played like what I think we thought he was going to be.
Bosat has been interesting because I feel he's not bad, but I don't think they have found his pairing yet. I mean, if you guys remember when everybody was healthy in the midfield, him and Jack look good. I mean, and right, a little bit of that rotation, a little bit of injury has kind of, I guess, delayed that chemistry again. But I mean, it's definitely to note. All right, who are you putting on your right midfield and then on your left mid? I mean, it's interesting because obviously now Jack is healthy, and again, you're looking at your optimal, starting lineup with everybody being healthy that you have currently. Because otherwise, easy peasy, you put what's his name, Lucas Halter as a center back if he was available, but he's not. So, what are you guys thinking, Christian? Who are you putting on your?
No, you.
Oh,
you
sorry,
ahead.
DynaStats. Sorry,
it's your
keep
team.
going. We're building this. Yes.
You can make edits to it after. You can give me your changes, but I think on the right you have to go Jack, and on the left I'd still go Bogusz. Even still, I think Jack. I don't think there's like any true number 10 on this team anymore, except for Jack. Like we had a serious problem a couple of years ago where we kept signing number 10. We kept signing Basi, Kowalczyk, Blessing, Coco. We had too many 10s. So now we just don't have any 10s. And I think Jack is like the closest thing to create a midfielder we have. So I think him cutting inside from the right and then also having Bogusz connect from the other side to kind of also playing as a 10 is the best way to go for us.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like that move, especially because you mentioned, yes, we're calling it a 4-4-2, but this is such a fluid formation and tactics, and I'm okay with that. I feel that the way that Ben tends to set up his team, I think is correct. I think for the most part, he doesn't really, screw the pooch on it, but his team just doesn't, finish their chances, and that's a whole different thing. I mean, there's just so much you can do. All right, we talked a lot about the DP droughts. Obviously, you already put Bogusz in here. Guillermo, you cannot not start Guillermo, so that's one of your two on top. So the big one is going to be: are you sticking? With Ponce? Everybody being healthy? Are you maybe going with? I mean, I think that if you put like even like the combination of Andre Lingard and Guillermo on top, it's kind of like the same player.
Yeah.
But I feel it gives you more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lingard's more central. I think it's more central. Guillermo likes playing slightly less as a striker. Yeah, just free roam wherever he wants. I think Guillermo and Ponce would be nice, Guillermo and Lingard would be nice, but I think just politics, just the amount of money of paying Ponce, I think he's getting the start.
No. This is your lineup, man.
Okay,
we're not talking.
Yeah.
No politics. No sides of the aisles.
No
politics. No Ponce.
No Ponce. So you're going.
That's a good slogan. No politics. No Ponce.
No politics. No Ponce. Yeah.
Somebody make it a hashtag. Are we still doing hashtags?
Yes. No politics. No Ponce.
That's a good one. I like it.
Someone's gonna take it. It's gonna be on the stadium.
Somebody do a banner.
Hey, at least give us some credit. Huh?
Don't give us credit, DynaStats. Just put DynaStats.
Then take on my credentials. No.
Because if we say soccer, then we all get kicked out.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like that one.
But honestly, that's a very. I like the starting 11. Honestly.
All right, so we're rolling with Bond again. I did mention this is your lineup, but Bond has. I mean, he has the experience. I think it's going to be between him and Maurer for the most part. It looks like Blake is not in the picture. And we know that there is other quality goalkeepers like Logan Irv, who's not playing because Pedro Cruz is just too good. But I like Bond. And going with Felipe Andrade and Negri as your fullbacks. Carlos Antonio, Resch, center backs. Your midfield, Arthur, captain, of course, Samaseko. And then you have McGlynn and Bogusz. Building the line of 4, and then Lingard and Augusto. All right, if you play this lineup, and I don't know, do you play? Who's the one that's big into what's it called? The FM game they play, the Football Manager.
Joey,
can we stick this? Can we get Joey to stick this lineup against this weekend match and see what the score looks like? That'd be great.
Make it happen, Joey. We got to hit him up and be like, hey, we have a project. We call it the No Politics, No Ponce project.
You know who does it? And I think also Juan JP, he does that too. That so we'll get him to some, because I feel like if I put this lineup in ChatGPT, it's gonna say Dynamo.
It would be cool. It would be cool to see if like 3 different people put it on their thing, however it works, and like to see the results that they get. That would be a cool experiment.
That'd be cool. But man, this has been a great show. It's an hour and 30 minutes. So
I hope Ben Olsen is listening to this, because that is a legit lineup. Yeah. And he should listen, because I feel like an outside perspective from guys.
Yeah, shout out to JP. We left him all alone.
Yeah, my bad, bro.
That's Christian's baby, and Christian's been pawning that to JP. Poor JP.
Nah, JP is great though. I mean, he likes it too. So
there probably won't be. Well, I don't know unless JP wants to be on because you're going to be at the game, right? You're planning to be.
I'm going to be at the stadium. Yeah.
Right. So
I won't be able to do it.
We'll see if they do it.
But Saturday I should be home.
Christian, if you want to tell the people how they can connect.
Yes, Ben Olsen. You can find us at BayouCitySoccer.net. You can always go there, check out all the ratings. We should start giving do we give coaches rating? I think we do, right? Yeah, we do. Yeah. He
gives a good rating overall.
I haven't looked at it yet. But I want to see I want to see the overall rating because I think we were doing that too, right? At the end of the season.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
We're doing overall rating. I want to see the overall rating. So you can find that, guys, at BayouCitySoccer.net. That is going to be the website. We can find everything and anything Houston Dynamo related, Houston soccer related, to be more specific, and grand scheme of things. But look for us on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and you can always find us there. If you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, you like. We did hit our 600 mark, so shout out to everybody there. We're over 600 now. We're pushing for 650, so help us out over there. And then if you haven't yet, make sure to leave a review and or 5 stars on the podcast wherever you guys listen. Make sure you let us know how cute we look and how awesome our soccer ideas are. If you have nothing good to say, leave it for the next podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, and there is a giveaway that we posted on our Instagram page. So if you're interested of going to the Wednesday match and seeing Christian Potalias, are you still charging $5 a picture, or is
$2.15? The economy is bad.
Okay, good.
So
Inflation,
I'm
man.
lowering my prices down.
Yeah, there you but if you're interested in going to the match, we have 2 tickets that you are able to claim if you're picked. To Paradise. Dude, it's a good view to the stadium. And you get, and we're throwing, because I didn't put on the description, but Elotes Bravo has agreed to hook up the winner with a elote in a cup, so corn in a cup, and an agua fresca. So the winner is gonna have their perfect date night opportunity. Yeah. Hey, if you go by yourself, man, that's fine too. Just lay across some good cheeks.
That'd be funny.
But no, thank you guys for listening. Leenser, I apologize, I mispronounced your name or pronounced it a million different ways, man. But anything you want to, I mean, this is your first time joining us on the podcast. Hopefully not your last. Yeah, he said that.
I thought you've been here before. My bad.
He acts like he's been here before. He's good. But anything you want to add, man? I know, again, you've joined Bayou City Soccer not that long ago, but anything if you have anything nice to say, go
promote everything, bro.
If you hate us, just tell face to face.
Yeah, for real.
It's great to be here. It's great to finally join you all. I've been waiting for a while. And yeah, if you guys do want to see more of my stuff, you can find me on X and Blue Sky at DynaStats.
Love it, man. Yeah, you always bring the good content and the good numbers, and it's like there's the record for that. What?
People keep up with that? What?
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. But all right, guys, man. Christian, you finished that book. Anything else? I mean, you had time for clarity, dude. Anything you want to add? If not, I have something. If
no, just the same quote actually popped up at the end, which is I can't remember it now. But it was something about like losers never start, and the weak are they get left in the way, so that just leaves us. So same mentality. Let's keep going forward. If you have a project in mind, I know DynaStats had this amazing project, and he's working on it. So
people want to know what the project is. Is that something that you've released? I mean, you don't have to go into it if it's not, but what you've been working on?
Not yet, no, because the official salary numbers come out next month. So when that comes in, I'm working on having that.
There you go.
So yeah, so if you like numbers and a lot of good information, DynaStats is your guy. So yeah, we'll definitely be reposting his stuff once it goes live. Yeah, sorry, Christian, did you finish your thought, man?
Just that, man. Keep pushing, keep creating, keep doing things that make you feel alive and happy, and just have faith in yourself as well. So
Yeah, I'll finish with one. I'll finish with one thing. We've been. My work does a really good job of like kind of working wellness into everything, and obviously, not just the health, our body wise, but also our mindset. And one thing that we kicked off, or it's about to, it's a 3 good things. So if you haven't heard of 3 good things, Google it. It's all free. But basically, I like the idea because obviously we know that sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have bad days, sometimes we have terrible days, and life is not consistent, right? Like the Dynamo, a little inconsistent at times. Hey, everything soccer related in this life, guys.
Of course.
But the idea of like seeing, you don't have to sit there and be the negative person that sees everything, bad, but you don't have to always be the positive person that sees everything good. It's okay to understand that you had it good, you have it bad. Anyways, the attitude of this is to kind of going throughout the day and towards the end of the day before you go to sleep, write down 3 good things that happened to you. And it could be as simple as like, hey, I saw a beautiful flower today and they made my day or whatever. But it's crazy because these talking about statistics, we have a perfect F for it here, but like the way that it improves your not purely your just mental wellness and your mental health, but physically, dude, it relieves like so much like anxiety. Of course, it releases a lot of tension in your body, and it actually makes you live much longer. So, I'll food for thought here. I know I went a little long into it, but yeah, definitely check it out. And obviously, for both of you guys as well, to kind of look for it. Anyways, I'll leave you with that. But Christian.
Yeah.
Yes,
lastly, we do have a Strava group, Bayou City Soccer Strava group. So if you run, walk, bike, swim, play soccer, there's a bunch of activities there. Join us there. And, we're not only trying to stay, sane because of the Dynamo, but we're trying to stay sane, because we want to live. So if you're a runner, if you're a walker, if you're, a sitter on a bike, don't sit at home. But if you're, a sitter on a bike, join us. And, we're trying to motivate each other there. So it's a great community that we're building. We're trying to build a community, obviously surrounded about soccer, but not everything is going to be soccer. The Dynamo don't play 24/7. So like Rudy said, life happens and we're trying to support each other. So I don't play volleyball, but I did in the time. So if I have time and I can get out there, I'll play some volleyball. I can jump.
And I'll finish it with something comical. One thing, it's the doctor's actually a professor from Duke University. His name is Dr. Sexton. But I did write one quote that had me laughing because a lot of it had to be like the negativity from your peers when you work and peers in general. And I found this quote hilarious. He said, "Be honest. Do you think it's possible to have a really high level of well-being and have a shitty boss?" I thought that was funny because it's like if you have a shitty boss, and he just finishes, "We don't really find that to be very common." So statistically, if you have a bad boss, and if you're a bad boss, it's not looking great for you guys. But thanks again for joining us. Obviously, hanging out with us here live, and if you catch this podcast the next day, as Christian mentioned, like, subscribe, review, check our YouTube page, check everything we do, BayouCitySoccer.net. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace.
Buenas noches.